Apple की जो tech है उसमें, yes, it's innovative, but it's not new tech. The entire film, I think, took me what, 2-3 weeks.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Artistic Wave podcast. I'm your host Samir, and today we are with one of my close friends, Taha Hussain.
Walaikum salam, Sameer. Thank you so much for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So, Taha
Yeah.
is, I would describe you as an amateur Unreal Engine / 3D artist,
That
amongst other things.
amongst other
amongst
things.
a lot of other things. Jack
Yeah.
of all trades चल रहे हैं यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा.
Yeah, basically this is what I'm doing right now. So
Yeah, like this is where this is what you're geared towards these days,
yeah,
which is Unreal Engine, 3D art.
AI, shit like that.
So, what have you been up to?
Recently I prototyped a game in Unreal Engine which was inspired from CS:GO, but it had a lot of, you know, मेरी fun कहानियाँ उसमें ज़्यादा थी. I had like this cool Egypt sort of map going on. Again, I took inspiration from Dust, but the fun part in that was I implemented a lot of AI into that. So the result turned out to be pretty good. Other than that, I recently did like a short film in Unreal as well. Everything was done in Unreal Engine, from characters to motion capture to facial recognition, setting up the camera. Literally everything you can think of was done in Unreal Engine. So that was like
Okay, so we'll break this down a bit. So, firstly, the Unreal Engine, the film that you just made, right?
Yeah.
So again, मैंने वो film देखी भी है, and it was a very nice film, and like especially for your first stab at like an Unreal Engine film, it was
for my first like animated film,
Yeah.
for that matter.
and it was great. Like, I have seen people's first stabs at animated films, and yeah, I mean, like, they've been disastrous. We know,
Yeah,
especially in like student life, लोगों के thesis भी, even जो final thesis होते हैं, they were disastrous.
Yeah.
But as your first step, especially using Unreal, I think it was a great
Thank you.
film,
Thank you
and
so
like the
much.
environments that you built were like incredible. So, like, tell me more about the process.
Okay, so basically, I think the film, what I learned through the film, amongst other things, was that work smart, not hard. I built an environment, and I built one environment that encapsulated the entire film. So throughout the film, हम वो उस environment से नहीं निकलते. उसी environment में different scenes and different vibes हैं,
Yeah.
but you're not getting out of that one environment. So I saved a lot on that. Second, what I did was I used metahumans. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but metahumans basically work as you build a character, you model it. You don't have to model, but you build your own character. Similar to, remember how back in the day we used to select a custom character for different video games?
Yeah.
So it's a similar experience. You do that, and then it imports it directly into Unreal as a usable character.
That sounds interesting. That sounds very interesting.
So literally, I can build a character in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes at this point.
So like जब तुम्हारा ये project पे, जब तुम इस project पे काम करते, we talked about it as
Yeah.
well, and तुम मुझे बताए थे कि how like in a like compared to like before, like even like जब तुमने Unreal Engine में tap in करना शुरू किया था a couple years ago,
Yeah.
तो you yourself didn't expect कि तुम इतनी जल्दी इतनी amazing environments बना सकते हो, चीजें कर सकते हो.
I did not expect myself कि मैं इतनी जल्दी I would be able to pull something like this and in the time frame, because the entire film, I think, took me what, 2-3 weeks,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So you were talking about that secret sauce, AI.
Yeah.
So elaborate, like, what did you mean?
Okay, so in the film, AI was used in 2-3 main जगह. First was motion capture. Second was facial recognition. Facial recognition was 100% AI. Motion capture was समझो 80 to 90% AI. Whereas then उसके बाद थोड़ा सा I used AI for like, you know, just saucing it up, like just helping me a little bit in designing the entire thing and just like, you know, making sure everything was flowing together. So you can see that this part was a lot more like GBT stuff, but the other thing was like actual AIs and AI models that I was using that are embedded into Unreal. I did not experiment using like a different model that's built outside of Unreal and then bringing it into Unreal like that. I
Hmm.
used Unreal के ही models for this.
तो आई फील लाइक अभी जैसे एक बहुत ज़्यादा इस तरीके का एआई बूम तो हम सब एवरीवन नोज के एआई बूम आया हुआ है बट लाइक हम देख ही रहे हैं बट आई फील लाइक people who are excelling at using AI in this moment are all those type of people जो कि like even niche AI programs को जो आपके famous programs like ChatGPT वो तो हैं ही हैं
Yeah.
but जो niche आपकी different art fields के अंदर जो niche आप use कर सकते हैं AI products की और AI softwares की वो use करते हुए they are running their businesses, they are running their getting their work done.
Definitely,
So
definitely.
do
I
you think
think
it's a game changer?
it definitely is a game changer, and what people fail to realize is जो लोग आके कहते हैं ना Unreal's taking away our jobs and you know we're gonna
Yeah, that
be
was actually something that I was going towards where like how much of it is okay, this is a really cool thing, but how much of it is okay, we can use this to like up our game,
oh
and how much is it fear mongering के मतलब अब off scene है हम सबका
यार
we'll be
देखो
jobless.
you will not be completely jobless. That is what I can guarantee you. Because AI is yes it's very apt, very powerful, but for you still need someone to communicate with it and tell it what to do. So what people fail to realize is कि AI के साथ ऐसा नहीं है कि it's gonna be like oh it's like Skynet कि it's gonna wake up one day and be like oh we're taking over.
Yeah, obviously.
It's more like you know you need to learn how to communicate with it so that it can work in your favor. Yes, it has a lot of advantages. जैसे for example आपका generative fill आ गया आपका Photoshop में. What happens in that is you know you can change pictures in mere seconds. जो आपको पूरी Photoshops करनी होती थी जो पूरी blendings करनी होती थी. If you, I don't know if you remember, but we've made like pretty decent photo manipulations back in the day. वो करने का yes process और time आसान हो गया. Someone who's just starting out can get away with that, but then again they need to have like the basic aesthetics and sense of design
Achha, okay.
to make it nice.
Yeah, I understand that and completely like I'm with you on this.
Yeah.
अभी तक जहाँ तक तुमने बात की ना like I'm completely with you on this. But like something like I'm sure you're familiar with Sora,
Yeah.
right? तो अभी उसका जो latest demo आया है where it's like isn't at that point like आपको जो stock footage चाहिए होती है या insert shots चाहिए होते हैं चीज़ों के या आपको drone footage चाहिए एक लैंडस्केप की या इस तरह की काफ़ी चीज़ें चाहिए आपको जो कि लेट्स बी ऑनेस्ट लाइक इवन अगर लाइक हम पाकिस्तानी इंडस्ट्री की बात करें या बाहर भी बात करें इट्स नॉट चीप लाइक अगर आप एक शॉर्ट फिल्म भी बना रहे हो एक लाइक प्रॉपर अच्छी वाली बजटेड शॉर्ट फिल्म आप बना रहे हो या आप फीचर फिल्म बना रहे हो तो ऑल ऑफ दिस कॉस्ट अ लॉट ऑफ मनी
Agreed.
राइट एंड लाइक यू हैव एन एंटायर टीम hired there's a lot going on there even like it's not just like film point of view से pictures point of view से आपको बहुत पैसे लग रहे होते हैं या अगर आप stock footage भी उठाना चाहें या stock pictures भी उठाना चाहें from online websites तो आपको licensing करनी पड़ती है again costs a bunch of money but Sora can do that and can probably do that in some ways better like मेरी अभी बात हो रही थी काफ़ी मेरी cinematographer से बात हो रही थी कि how they agreed कि सोरा का जो काम उन्होंने दिखाया है and this is देखो again whenever we are talking about AI I feel like the one thing that we always miss out is this right now is the worst it will ever be.
Oh, 100%.
You know, this is the worst it will ever be. It will only be better.
It will only be better.
सही है तो they agreed कि ज़्यादातर एमेचर काम से ज़्यादा अच्छा काम कर सकता है at this stage right now.
बिल्कुल कर सकता है but Sameer, something you need to learn about AI models is कि AI models are built, are learned, are trained. सही है?
For sure.
And to be trained they need a lot of data.
Yeah.
जितना ज़्यादा डेटा होगा एक AI मॉडल के पास उतना उसका रिजल्ट बेहतर होगा. तो अभी a lot of AI models are still in their training phase and for them to train they can go over billion hours of footage and still then make adaptive decisions. However, and I'm talking this from a very localized market now, a lot of content that exists out there is very westernized or very not Pakistani for the lack of a better word. अगर
Hmm.
मैं short film बना रहा हूँ तो मुझे पाकिस्तान की अगर एक street का short चाहिए तो chances are I will probably not get it on a stock footage की website.
Could be.
सही है. Here's where it gets interesting. People, especially in our market, in our region, they still have a chance because AI सिर्फ उन data को train कर रहा है. उन data पे train हो रहा है. So they can have their own AI models that is being trained on this data, or like they can have like different offshoots of bigger AI models in which they're training it on localized data, and then localized data you still have to go out and shoot, and or even if you shot that,
Obviously,
you need
but
to have
like-
like a centralized library where it can like train from it.
But again फिर बात वहाँ पे वही वाली आ जाती है ना कि like for how long, like Pakistan is an emerging market in media right now, like यहाँ
True.
पे अभी चीज़ें बनना शुरू हुई हैं, फिल्म का levels अलग बनना शुरू हुए हैं, from like films to great ads to marketing, like ये जो entire media field है ये अभी grow कर रही है, especially 5 years पहले जैसी थी वो अब नहीं है, 5 years बाद जिस तरीके की थी वो आज नहीं है. तो I feel like you give it another 10 years, 15 years, and even in our market,
it will catch
enough
up. I'm
content
not,
बन जाएगा
I'm
तो
not
हो
saying
जाएगा.
it will not catch up. I'm saying it will catch up. But Pakistani market में रहते हुए ना, there are several constraints. A lot of them are being like tech constraints in terms of technology, where you cannot afford the technology being used to run or be support the way that the softwares are going. For example, like if I'm talking about virtual production, virtual production is something that has been very popular since Unreal 5 was released. And for those of you who don't know, the little rundown is you're using like a 3D background on a rail set and you're doing real-time tracking. And the way to do about that, like the quote-unquote correct way to go on about that, is using like these big-ass LED rooms or LED screens. And एक panel उसका करोड़ों तक जाता है. So for you to even build a wall for that, chalo, even if you have the money, you bring that technology in.
Yeah.
It's not affordable for the regular consumer or the person you or
And
like
especially for cheaper markets like Pakistan.
it's
like,
not
बिल्कुल
it's
नहीं
not
है.
viable. But here comes the Pakistani jugaad, because I have personally seen SMDs पे लोगों ने उसको वो कर दिया. They give up a little bit on quality, but they can still get the result done. Yes, it takes a lot more manipulation and a lot more nicky knacks of the software and of the platform, but it's still viable. Point being, Pakistani market might not be able to afford it, but they can definitely find a way around it in which they can work in its favor. But I still stand with my point. A lot of technology and a lot of tech that's being done, and like the capabilities of these amazing softwares, amazing platforms, we're limited by our technology right now. They're ahead of us.
ये तो है, ये तो डेफिनेटली है कि लाइक आई फील लाइक यहाँ पे मैं और भी आर्टिस्ट से बात कर रहा था, वो उनका भी यही पर्सपेक्टिव था कि इनिशियली आपका पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ये होता है कि ओह शिट, लाइक दिस इज सो गुड, hell I have to like spend way too much time and money to recreate this, right?
Yeah.
But फिर बात हो जाती है कि I think that goes with everything. Like पहले billboards के ऊपर ads लगते थे, now like
True.
billboards are basically dead.
True. इसके एक और एग्जांपल समीर तुम देख सकते हो, Vision Pro अभी आया. Vision Pro is a game changer for like spatial computing, for like आपका mixed reality setups, but it's freaking $4,000.
Yeah.
How many people in Pakistan
But-
can actually afford that?
Okay, so Vision Pro की जहाँ तक बात आती है ना, वहाँ पे मेरा एक perspective है. Vision Pro is actually not for consumers.
Okay. True.
It
True.
is a first gen product. It's a first gen Apple product, which is a huge thing. First gen Apple products are huge. They are a class of its own.
Yeah.
और फर्स्ट जेन एप्पल प्रोडक्ट्स ना, अगर तुमने कभी नोट किया हो, इवन जब वो आए थे, उनके हेडफोन्स आए थे एप्पल के,
AirPods.
एयरपॉड मैक्स इज
Yeah.
इवन लाइक द प्रॉपर
Yeah.
हेडसेट्स. तो जो फर्स्ट जेन प्रोडक्ट्स होती हैं, कुछ सेफ फर्स्ट जेन प्रोडक्ट्स होती हैं, लाइक द एयरपॉड्स, द
Yeah.
एयरफोन्स, राइट? द फर्स्ट एयरफोन्स व्हेन दे वायरलेस एयरफोन्स व्हेन दे केम
They were like immediate success.
हाँ, वो मगर सेफ प्रोडक्ट थी वो फिर
Yeah.
भी, लेकिन लाइक वो सेफ किस वे में नहीं थी, they removed the headphone jack.
They removed the headphone jack, so it became a necessity.
हाँ, and they set a trend, everyone hated it at first, and now literally किसी phone में नहीं होता headphone jack unless like आप बहुत ही lower mid range में जा रहे हो. Even
Yeah.
proper mid range में अब जो
है.
high level mid range है, I'm not even talking about expensive phone, high mid range के अंदर नहीं होता
नहीं होता.
headphone jacks. तो ये जो specially product है ना with the Vision Pro, this is not for consumers actually. It's a $4,000 device, and the reason why it is a $4,000 device is because Apple itself knows that this Vision Pro has flaws. सही है. From उसका battery backup to वो कितना comfortable on his head, on someone's head. ये आपको पता होगा कि उसके 2 type of straps हैं. एक overhead strap और एक back strap है. और back strap उसके सारे production material, promotional material में सारे back strap थे because it looks cooler. But आप वो 10 मिनट से ज़्यादा नहीं पहन सकते because then it starts hurting and you have to wear the normal top head strap for it to actually be useful. Okay, coming back to the point for the Vision Pro, for me and for a lot of like people in the industry, this is a development kit. So
100%.
this is like Apple's entry of making VR truly mainstream. अभी तक बहुत सारा अच्छा VR के अंदर अच्छे headsets आए हैं, but this is now going to make VR mainstream.
I was getting to that point कि Apple की जो tech है उसमें yes it's innovative but it's not new tech.
Yeah.
सही है. तुम Quest देख लो, तुम Oculus देख लो, उनके कितने मॉडल्स आ चुके हैं, कितनी चीज़ें आ चुकी हैं. They're way cheaper.
Yeah.
People have been using it. People have been developing on it. Apple just made it mainstream. Same like they did it with the iPhones.
Yeah.
They just made it mainstream, and now this market is going to explode. In the next
जो
5 years,
exactly.
this is going to explode
और
like
फिर जो
hell.
environment उसमें बनाई है कि it's basically VR AR का true live action mix जो कि हम like movies में back in the day देखते थे कि like you know you're wearing this headset and आप अपनी normal environment में चल रहे हैं.
Your digital life is integrated
exactly.
with like your normal world.
And I feel like this $4,000 device, I feel like anyone who is a developer and who is dabbling into making apps and softwares for the future, I feel like will be owning a pair of these 100%.
Definitely. If not, they'll be going back to an older pair and then figuring out how they can develop for you know, for like this using an older pair, if like with certain software updates and patches. Which least comes back to my initial point. I don't know if you know this, but you can develop all of this on like Unreal Engine, AR and VR. You don't need to have like separate, you don't need to learn coding because that's the beauty of Unreal. It's all visual programming. So literally you just have, it's like connecting the dots. You just need to have enough basic knowledge of flowcharts and functions to make it work, and then you're just connecting the dots and it's doing the programming on the back end for you, which makes Unreal a really powerful software to work with, because you can't, not just this, you can run simulations, you can do real-time tracking, virtual productions, you can do animated films, you can do games, you can do so much on that, man. And how many softwares are there in the world that can support such a large variety of functions?
I feel like in the field of media, like whether it be like video editing or photo editing or animation or digital art, anything, I feel like jitna zyada aap is tarike software use karte hain that simplifies your work, the better. Like it won't make sense where you could make a software, an app that one person can use to make a short film, i.e. you used Unreal Engine to make a short film, animated short film, whereas you would need like 3 animators to do that work in the same amount of time.
I solely used Unreal and then I just brought it into DaVinci for like color grading, because I was getting like, if I'm getting a little nerdy out here, just stop me, but I was able to render 12-bit Apple ProRes log footage out of Unreal.
Yeah, and actually, I didn't know that. And जब तुमने मुझे बताया था कि you are able to do that, I was actually kind of shocked. I was like, okay, nice. And it weirdly, oddly didn't even take that long. Like, oddly didn't it take less time compared to if you were making this animation on like Blender or something?
Billion% it took me less time, and it was way smoother.
like तुम्हारी डेडलाइन आने वाली थी एंड लाइक यू टोल्ड मी कि अच्छा मेरी इस टाइम पे डेडलाइन है एंड मुझे अभी ये इसका रेंडर निकालना है फिर मुझे कलर ग्रेड करनी है एंड आई वाज लाइक डूड दैट इज लिटरली नॉट इनफ टाइम
I was
and you
like,
were easily able to do that.
I was very easily able to do that. You know, after that, I actually was able to further optimize the rendering process.
Acha, so you are clearly very enthusiastic about the world of Unreal. So
Definitely.
like, would you want to use it for more towards like app development and animation and that sort of work, or do you also want to do game development?
The way I see myself using Unreal is using it for developing AR and VR technologies, environments, applications, not more towards environment and experiences rather than application itself. I want to develop more like short films. Like if I can make a short film in 2 weeks completely from scratch, why not? I want to do simulations on this, man. Because the physics of Unreal is just so beautiful. Like just मजा आता है यार खेलने में उसके साथ on like what it can achieve.
Even like game sites.
And yes, I remember what I was talking about earlier. Game development. That's something. For the past 2 years, more money has been poured in the gaming industry than like the film and the music industry.
Yeah.
So game development is a very hot industry right now.
Yeah.
So if I get a chance to make game designs or game levels or even cinematic for games, I will definitely take that opportunity with both my hands.
Like अभी जब Unreal Engine 5 जब drop हुआ था basically, तो उन्होंने PlayStation के साथ उन्होंने trailer drop किया था of this game.
Which one?
I don't even remember the name of the game. It was like literally अगर तुम Unreal Engine 5 and game development लिखोगे तो उसका एक trailer आएगा.
Okay.
With like the new age quote unquote ray tracing and everything.
Yeah.
And it was just honestly it was insane. Like we haven't seen abhi us generation ke proper developed games yet.
They're being developed.
They are being developed 100%. But like abhi tak humne nahi dekhe hain.
Yeah.
But just to see what the engine was capable of making it look like it was basically like a cinematic piece, but you were controlling that cinematic piece yourself because it was a game.
Yes. Have you seen the Matrix ka trailer that came out on Unreal?
Yeah.
You see how like they were able to very easily just, bend reality in that.
Yeah. So I feel like it's a very, very, very fun,
exciting time.
Real exciting time.
Like, okay, have you played the latest Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Have you seen the cutscenes in that?
Yeah.
Have you seen the closing scene?
Which one?
The one where they're on the mountain. Dude, does that look anything less than a film?
Like, I would argue it looks better than some films.
Exactly my point. Exactly my point. So, if I get a chance to make those as well, I am taking that opportunity hands down.
So basically, we are super excited about Unreal. We're super excited
love
about animation.
Unreal.
And this is a world that you think like, and also like I would even argue like, this is something that the world is gearing towards.
Yeah.
तो मतलब इसका वो भी सीन नहीं है कि no, you're doing something so niche कि like no one really cares, right? It's, one would argue like it's where the money is at as well.
Yeah. Especially like I said with Vision Pro, Apple made it mainstream. Just watch and see what happens in the next 5 years and how the market explodes. How people are already putting their money, like, betting on this.
Yeah.
Wait till you get that level of games that you were talking about in virtual experiences or like, play when they become playable.
Very impressive, very impressive, very impressive. वैसे, I am just really excited to see what you do with Unreal because like अभी तक जो तुमने किया है, like even like being so young and just entering the industry, it's been incredible to see. So real excited. Hopefully we'll have you on the podcast again.
Inshallah. Can't wait to be back.
Yeah. And to you guys, it's been, your guys' response has been lovely. So please like and subscribe and we will see you next time. Thank you.